Hello and welcome back to Women's Football Talk, the YouTube channel that brings you all the latest news and stories from around the world of women's football. And today it's an Olympic special, as we're just 48 hours away from the start of the football at this year's Summer Olympics. I'm going to show you who are my players to watch out for and a lot of the nations and who I'm picking to win the gold medal on the whole. Right, so obviously it's a year later than planned this whole Olympics, but that doesn't matter, the excitement is still there. So we'll start off with Group E and we'll have a look at the Canada squad and a few players I think you should watch out for. Obviously, you got the likes of Khadijah Buchanan and Shelina Zadorsky in defence. You've also got Adriana Leone, Ashley Lawrence, Christine Sinclair, obviously their all-time top goal scorer and the top goal scorer in women's football at an international level, obviously, and Janine Becky and Jessie Fleming. So it's a very good squad. Canada, I think they could go quite far. Not the hardest of groups for them. They also have Chile and Great Britain in there, but and Japan as well. So I think they could potentially surprise a few teams and get a result here and there. Now we look at the Chile team, and obviously in goal they will have Cristina Endler, who has just recently signed for PSG from Lyon. And then you look further forward, you look at Karen Araya in midfield, and then Maria Jose Urrutia up front, as well as Yanara Aido. So it's definitely a good few players to look at in this Chile squad, but I'm not expecting them to do too much in this. But you never know, they might get a result against Japan and might pull up a surprise against Canada. Next, you then have a look at the Great Britain squad that Hege Riise chose. There's obviously a lot of names in this squad that you're like, okay, these are big players, and I do expect Great Britain to be there in and amongst the medals. I'll get onto that in a little bit later, but obviously you've got the likes of Lucy Bronze, Nikita Parris, Kim Little, Fran Kirby, Caroline Weir, Leah Williamson. It's a very, very good squad that Hege Riise has chosen. It's predominantly English. I think that was going to always be the case when she got given the England job on an interim basis until Sarina Wiegman takes over later on this year after this Olympics. So there's no real surprises there that she's gone with a heavy English squad. And then finally in Group E, you look at Japan. You've got to look at Saki Kumagagi in defence, Emi Nakajima, Yuki Sugasawa, and Mana Iwabuchi as to be the prime outlets in this Japanese squad. For me, I'm not expecting that much of Japan in this tournament, and I'm expecting them maybe even to come third or fourth in the group as well. On to Group F, Brazil. Everyone knows where to look at this Brazil squad. I mean, you've got Formiga, who's 43 years old and potentially playing in her last Olympics, so you never know with her. You got Debinha, Marta, Ludmila, like Andresinia as well. Just looking at their squad, it's Andressa as well. It's just full of depth and experienced players. They know what they've got to do in a game, and you know they'll always show up and get a result when needed to. China, again, not a lot is known about the Chinese squad in Western media, but they have got a few players to look out for. Midfielder and captain Wang Shuang played over 100 games for them. Wu Heiyan, again, 120 games for them, and Wang Shanshan, 136 games, 52 goals, and is definitely the threat going forward for China. The Netherlands, in Sarina Wiegman's last selection before she takes over as the England job. Again, no real surprises in Wiegman's selection. Obviously, you got to look at the likes of Gilles Roord, Viviane Miedema, Lieke Martens, Daniela van der Donk, Shanice van der Sanden to all provide the goals and looking good in attack for the Netherlands, and they are one of my teams again, who, along with Team GB, who I expect to be challenging for a medal. Again, Zambia, not a lot is known from Zambia, but I'll pick out a few players to look out for, as it is a fairly young squad. So I'd say Agnes Musase, who's a midfielder. You've also got Vast Piri, who's in defence, and Everine Katongo, who's a young midfielder. So that is what I expect. And unfortunately for Zambia, I don't expect them to be table toppers in this group, and I think they're going to struggle a lot. And onto the final group, Group G, Australia. everyone knows their deadly threat in Sam Kerr up top. You've got Claire Polkinghome in defence, Steph Catley as well alongside it, and then further up the field you've got Caitlin Ford, Emily Van Egmond, Mary Fowler, Ellie Carpenter, who can play on the wing sometimes, Tamika Yallop as well, Emily Gonlick, Hayley Raizo, Kaya Simon. So it's a very good squad that the Australians have picked, and I think it's going to be hard for them to get out of that group, considering some of the other teams. But yeah, it's a very good squad for Australia. Then you look at New Zealand. Ali Riley's obviously their stand-up name, as well as Ria Percival, Abby Ursig as well, Anneli Longo, Betsy Hassett. So they've got very good experienced players. Going forward, you've got to look at Hannah Wilkinson, 97 games, 26 goals. You'd expect her to chirp in with a goal or two in this tournament. But yeah, I think again, New Zealand as well as Australia are probably going to struggle a lot in this group. Then you look at Sweden, who I think are going to surprise a few teams just because of how well organised they are, and it's a very good team. I mean, you've got to look at Sofia Jakobsen, Kosovare Aslani, Stina Blackstenius, who will always score a goal and always seems to score at club level, Caroline Seeger as well, and Fridolina Rolfo and Anna Anvegard to chirp in with the goals for Sweden. And then Vlatko Andonovski and the United States. Where do you begin with this squad? I mean, everyone knows their forward line of Carly Lloyd, Kristen Press, Alex Morgan, Megan Rapinoe, Tobin Heath. Everyone knows everything about them and expect them to be shining. Or some other players I'd expect to do really well in this squad. Kelly O'Hara, I think, will have a really good tournament, as well as her fellow fullback Crystal Dunn, who's absolutely amazing to watch. And then if you look in midfield, he's got so many options. He could play both Christy Mewis and Sam Mewis. There's also the chance he could play Rose Lavelle, Lindsay Horan. Yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting tournament for the US, and they are my favourites to take home the gold medal this summer. So I'm going to have them taking home the gold, Netherlands taking home the silver, and Team GB taking home the bronze medal in this Olympics. Let me know in the comments section below who your three to win the medals are at this Olympics and players you think we should be looking out for. Right, make sure you like, comment and subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss a video, and we'll have a weekly update also, or after all the group games are done, at who is left in the Olympics this summer. And don't forget, we'll also try and keep up to date with all the latest transfer news as well in the world of women's football. And until then, we'll see you soon.